This video is sponsored by the Design Mechanism, the makers of Mithras. Mithras is a registered trademark of the Design Mechanism Inc., used with permission. All rights reserved.
Makes sense.
And I think we're on now. We're live now. I think that's it. I hope that is. Yeah, it is my microphone. Yeah, I remember that time that it was not actually this microphone that was picking something up. Mr. Pickles just walked off, isn't that? We go live and Mr. Pickles just walks off.
Come on!
But to be fair, he needs to throw his mic down first.
Stretch it.
The new mic, but screw you.
Yeah, screw you, Mike. Right, yes, we are back. It's been a while. I needed some time. I don't know if I know Mr. Pickles makes up adventures. I don't know whether or not Captain and Medivac you do, but there's sometimes that my brain
Only in the bedroom.
My brain just says no. You are not having an adventure idea today, and that's it. It's just like nothing actually happens for a while, but it's fine now. I got two at the same time and thought, ooh, right, which one shall we go for first? And yeah, so hang on, I'm just doing roll 100 d6s to take that off. Yes, so we are back. We are no longer in fantasy setting. We have armed our rifles, our pistols, our sneaky blasters up our sleeves. We've Perdi is fully charged and ready to be her medical self because we have jettisoned ourselves into the far future to play the sci-fi version of Mithras, which is called M-Space, which is Mithras in space, a bit like pigs in space.
Space. Sorry.
And it's really interesting. I really like the swap of characters because the players really have to think. I am no longer playing that character because everything seems to be opposite and back to front and everything. So, which is leads to a fun game. I actually play Perdi in this session, who's a medical robot who is basically just there to administer first aid and annoy people. That's her sole
sarcastic remarks.
Yes, that's her sole purpose in this adventure or this setting. But the players do have their own new characters, and we're going to do some experience rolls to see what happened after the last adventure. And we're going to also have a look at some downtime activities, and then we're going to launch ourselves into space for the next thrilling installment of M-Space. So I'm going to shut up and allow the players an opportunity to say who they are and who they will be playing. And as always, we always start with Mr. Pickles, who's got a new mic. So please, in the chat, say, wow, new mic. Mr. Pickles, go for it.
I am Mr. Pickles, and I should
Wow,
sound 5.6% clear.
I don't know if that's better though for us, but still.
Yeah, it's more pain for you.
Start talking yet?
So are you there, Mr. Pickles?
So I play Zach Newman, which is much different character-wise from Bartleby Fumus, because Zach Newman is all about being a law enforcer. He's, ex-law enforcer. He's working with a new gang of friends now. His biggest strength is his strength. He's very buff, very tough, but he's not very big. So I like to imagine he's built like Bruce Willis or Mark Wahlberg, sort of a average size tough guy wearing sunglasses. He has quite a few weapons on him, and he's trained in all of them. From his basic training, he has a medium blaster and a knife. From his The Law training, he has a baton, which has electric shocks in it. He's got a medium revolver and a shotgun which I always forget the name, but every time I see it, it makes me smile. It's the bloody snail shotgun. Because anybody who gets hit with it that survives is going to be crawling away, leaving a bloody trail. He's not like a sadistic character, but he is very much firm in punishment. Like if people attack us, he's going to attack back and with a lot of force. That said, he has quite a few friends based on my passions here. He has a friend from the first adventure, Carly, his ex-military friend who has pink hair that they helped. They both dug a hole together and became friends over that. Then there's also Angel Bright.
Suspicious.
It's not a euphemism at all. It's just they dug a hole. He's got Angel Bright as his contact because he saved her with a critical role in the last adventure, diving to save her from the sniper shot. But compared to the rest of the characters, he's not terribly tech savvy. He doesn't really know much about computers or science. He just knows the law. He knows the streets, and he knows guns. But beyond that, he's not too tech savvy. And with that, I'm going to pass the comms device over to our scientific specialist, Captain Kangaroo.
Hey everyone, I'm Captain Kangaroo. Hold on, I need to put my core up. I'm looking at events. My zoom up. I'm Captain Kangaroo. I am going from small person with anger issues to geriatric all person who can do, honestly, a bit too much when it comes to like assisting us with different electronics and knickknacks. He's actually a cool guy. He doesn't have all the weird devices that the other one had, but he's mostly just kind of around to help others instead of just be selfish. I'm really just showing my reach as a player, of course, naturally. I can play such different characters. He has a Scottish accent, and I don't know why, because his is space. They don't have Scottish Highlands in space, I don't think. But I don't know. I just wanted to play around with it. But from there, I'm going to try to work with him and see what he can do with his technological background, what kind of different either drones or robots or different little gadgets he can use to assist. I'm trying to use my some ideas here and there, see what InWills will allow. But from there, as I mumble on, I'm going to pass the mic to Medevac, who I assume has a better working mic as well.
I have my awesome mic.
Perfect.
Hi all, I'm Medivac, and I'm playing somebody who is amazingly cool. You may know me from things like playing in the past adventures, that's like Hazra Khan, and that adventure again before where I played Hazra Khan. Well, tonight I'm playing James Minsk. He's a man who you will admire, you will look up for, you will see him and you will grovel in awe. Yes, he's the pilot. He is a little bit cocksure, a little bit hungry, a little bit, he knows what he can do and he likes what he can do. He is I've already said it, pilot. He's the face. He's very confident with people. He knows what he likes to say. Bureaucracy, doddle. Commerce, he knows what to buy. Comms-wise, he's good. He knows the chat. Navigation, he's getting there. But he also has a perfect friend in Captain Jodie Jacks, who's a lady who helped us on our very first adventure. And she's great for contact. She knows. She helped them out with Z Corp by pointing out who was the big bad and what it was all about. Well, not what it was all about, but pretty much don't do that because you're a loon if you do. He also likes to put his head in front of things, which is not normally a good thing because he's well, there's not much going on in there, but it does work. So yes, he's taken various head hits by stopping missiles or explosions hitting doors and basically putting his head in front of bullets and fists. yes. He's not very good in a fist fight. He's not very good in any fight, to be quite fair, although he will show you that he will. He likes to, when it comes to fist fights, he likes to slap attack. Because, and if he's shaking your hand with his left hand, he's going to shoot you with his right, because he has a little holdout blast that pops out and poof, because why give them notice? And before I do get a bit more cocky and ramble on more, I'm going to pass it on to him, Wills.
Thank you. I was just looking at your character, Minsk, because he actually has, in the picture, he has a robotic right arm, doesn't he? It's cybernetic.
He's got a little elbow implant. I like to think it's shoulder and elbow.
It's all right. I can remove that arm for you, and we can
and start from scratch.
you can then put a new one in. That would be.
Yeah, I can go for mash, make smash.
And I have to say, I love the way Newman says baton.
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 Yes, you're American, aren't you? Sorry.
I would say baton, but I just love the way you say baton.
Pass me the extra syllable, please.
It's the extra syllable for hitting harder.
Yeah, got ya.
It's a +1.
Yeah. So, M-Space, just like Mithras, is a percentile dice system. It has no classes as such, so it doesn't have things like fighters and magic users and things like that. And it has no levels either. So how the game actually works is that the characters have a list of standard skills, and then via their profession that they did and their culture, they have a set of other skills that they've developed. And then it's assumed that they've left their previous career and are now joined together to be adventurers out in the stars. For those people who weren't aware right at the beginning, they actually woke up in escape pods on a planet that was quite desolate, and they started to piece together some kind of information, some kind of background that Minsk's starship that they were on somehow blew up, but the crew managed to jettison themselves out of the escape pods. They know who each other is and they know their backgrounds, etc., but they have no idea what actually happened. They were picked up by a friendly crew and they were brought over to the main planet in the system called Arid, which has a very much a Tatooine feel to it. And there they've found out that they have a shipping container, well, two of them, one on top of the other. That's where they've been living since. So the characters actually use their skills. They roll percentile dice and it's adjusted via what's known as the difficulty grade. And because there's no levels, the characters do get experience points, but instead of points, they get rolls. And they can use these rolls to increase any skill that they have. They can also use it to increase their characteristics, but we're not at that point yet with these characters. And the only other thing that you need to be aware of is that if a character fumbles, i.e. they roll the dice and they get 99 or 100, then they automatically increase their skill by 1 point. So some of the players might be increasing a skill by 1 just because of a fumble, and that's it. So in order to use an experience roll, they decide what skill they're going to choose. So say, for example, it's a firearm skill at 56%. They then have to roll a percentile dice, add on their intelligence, and get the score or above. And if they do that, then they increase their skill by 1d4 plus 1. And if they don't get above, then they just increase it by 1 point. And then that's it. Skills can go over 100%. And if they are 100%, then the difference between 100 and whatever the skill is a negative modifier to the opponent, whether or not they're trying to take cover or do deceit or insight or anything like that. So we've got to the point that they've got their rolls. They've got 10 rolls. So what we're going to do is quickly go round, and each player will say what they're going to increase. And then we'll roll the dice and we'll see this skill increase. And that'll also give you a bit of insight to what the specialism of each character is. And we start with the hard hitting, the man with the gun. Mr. Newman, you go first. So how would you like to spend your 10 points?
Well, you left us in some sea containers, so I feel like there's not a lot of social life on this planet. And Zach Newman is used to the police life, so he's probably spending his first one here on his passion for Carly, ex-military character, trying to get some life outside of this. He has a 45 with her, and he's average intelligence. So here's my roll.
Yeah, so that's above 45, so that would be 1d4 plus 1. Nice.
I have notes.
And he's trying to keep up his life, so we're going for athletics next. That is a 43.
Very good for dodging out the way if need be. That goes up as 1d4.
Indeed.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, only 2. Never mind.
I am putting another point into athletics, my third point.
Okay. Point number
Which
3.
is at a 45 now.
Oh, it's now 46.
It's hard to run around on this planet.
They don't want you to increase that athletics skill at all. 3 down.
I would like to put my fourth into knowledge of the law.
Yeah.
Because that's something he's very passionate about. It's a 45 as well. Apparently I have a lot of 45s.
Well, that will no longer be 45. It will be...
Oh, 50.
50. We break the 50 mark. Nice.
All right. And
roll number 5.
Number 5 is going to be in my attack style, the law.
Excellent. So that's your
which is
fighting with your guns and everything.
Yeah, my shotgun, revolver, and stun baton. That is at a 75.
Oh, it's at a 76 now.
I'm gonna put another point into it. 66.
Oh,
yes.
Nice. 1d4 plus 1.
Big money, big money.
Nice. 3's
Acceptable
good.
money. Brings me up to 79. All right, and according to my notes, that should be I should have 4 left.
Yeah,
That would be
that's
my
right.
6th. I'm gonna put 1 in brawn because I need to be able to break doors open for my scientist friends. That's a 51.
Oh, it's no longer a
Oh.
51. It's a 53.
You know, I'm saving all the good rolls for my friends who think more goodly than me.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a point into perception so that I can see things before they hit the smarter thinkies. Just can progressively get more unintelligent. Perception is a 57.
57 is now 58.
58. All right. And my last 2 are going into endurance, which is a 35.
35 then.
I'm going to be
Ooh,
better at
1d4.
chasing down perps.
Oh,
Not by much. And my final one going into this, to bring it above a 37, hopefully.
yeah. It will increase 1d4 plus
Big
1.
money.
Yes.
Oh, there's some big money.
Nice.
That's all my rolls.
Yeah, fantastic. We'll come across to Minsk next.
He saved the best till last there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. There's nothing left for you now. Nothing
No, I'll get me caught. It's fine.
Yeah.
Right, I got a fumble in my comms last season.
Oh,
So
brilliant.
it was 56. Now it's 57. And I'm gonna list. I lost one of my cats, so I'm gonna be a little bit. But here we go. I have piloting. I'm gonna put a D for in that. So let me do this properly. Oh my gosh, I set this up before I started going, didn't I? Idiot. There we go.
Idiot.
What's an idiot? You stop it, fool. plus my debt, plus my intelligence, isn't it? So 13,000. So, right, my piloting is 75. I get 44, so it's a +1 in that.
+1, yep.
Sneaky shot. I'm going to put 2 into that, which is 45 at the moment.
Nice.
And it's 46 now. And another one in that. Oh,
It's 47.
47. Oh dear, I'm
Mr.
pants.
Pickles took all the nice
All
rolls.
the good rolls. Okay, slap attack. I cannot go wrong on this. It's 21. Slap attack. Oh,
Yay!
do 1d4. 1d4 plus
1.
plus 1. Da, da, da. Do, 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 do. Let's just get rid of it.
Oh, the tension.
I know, I got 2. So it's now 23.
3.
Oh my goodness. Perception is 41. So I'm going to put 1 in that. Is now 42.
Oh, you are not doing well.
No.
I think that's 5, isn't it? Done. Is that halfway?
That's we're halfway. Yeah, we're through. Yeah,
things can only get
there.
better.
Yeah. Was that insight I've just done? No, it wasn't. It was perception. So insight, it's 61 at the moment.
Ooh.
It's 62.
Oh, you are getting so.
Influence is a 69. I'm going to do 3 into this. So influence.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good one. 1d4 plus 1. Oh no.
So 71. Okay.
Come on, you can do it again. You can do it again.
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
So
We don't
that
want
is now
Yes.
74. And one more time.
One more. Yeah, come on.
Come on. Oh,
Yeah.
your face, look.
Oh, nice as well. 3's good.
77.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And your last one
is on deceit. Don't tell anybody though.
Ooh.
Don't tell anybody.
What?
I know where you live. It's 57. It's now
no
going
longer 57.
Oh my goodness. It's
50. Now I think the dice are telling you where you need to take your character next.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
all you done and dusted. So, Mr. Hammond, what you doing with your 10 rolls?
I'm just gonna go back and forth a little bit. So
That's right.
I do actually have one question with. I have a list of rules, but there's one thing I want to ask. I was wondering because we saw the effectiveness of the sniper attacker that kept almost killing us, and actually I think actually shot somebody pretty effectively. I was wondering if Hammond probably took that as like maybe I should take that up as well. I think he'd be more effective. I was wondering something maybe we could create a combat style off of.
Yeah, so if you want to add a new skill, so basically you would be adding a sniper rifle to your as a new weapon skill, just like adding a new skill. So that would take you 5 points to actually learn sniper. So that would give you access to all the generic sniper rifles. So it wouldn't be specific to one. What's your current weapon style? What's it currently?
I just have basic training, and that's at 71.
Right. Okay. Then. So I mean, the sniper rifle that comes in there's actually 2. But one's very much military grade because it's anti-material sniper rifle. There is a 7.6 millimeter sniper rifle that has a maximum range of 5,000 meters. It does 2d8 plus 4. And its firing rate is 1, but it has a 20 box mag. So you'll fire 20 shots and then have to reload with 3. The only thing that you need to be aware of is that the minimum range is 900.
Got it. So definitely could only use it from
Yeah,
afar.
yeah. But that would actually, give you, you would take 5 skill points, and then you would get, your skill would be sniper rifle. So you could then increase that if need be. It'll be interesting who you actually learn it off.
Yeah.
But you can make some decisions about that. There's probably somebody here that can fire a sniper rifle, and then that's it. So you wouldn't have a whole combat style. You just gain a weapon. Yeah.
Okay, that'd be
The Tuscan Raiders.
Tuscan Raiders, yeah.
Yeah, the Sand people.
So would I just be adding that to basic training?
No, it's a separate skill.
Separate skill. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a little confused because I don't think I've done this before with working on just a weapon.
Yeah. So I think I'm wrong. I don't think it's 5. I think it's 3 because 5's a spell, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yes.
Well, it is, but yeah.
To give you an idea, Longshanks did it with Hengist. He had his normal weapon style, and then he added one skill, which was using his sword one and a half hand. So he gained that. So it doesn't come into your basic training. It's a separate skill. So in Hammond's case, he could either, in character, progression, he could either plow everything into his sniper rifle, or he can plow it into his basic training still, or he can leave one and start working on another. Either or is absolutely fine.
Well, where would I put it on the character sheet?
Yeah, so
just sniper rifle.
Yeah, so underneath in combat style, you would just add one there and say sniper rifle, and
Perfect.
then that would be it. And then, I mean, I think if, say, for example, I'll probably be nice about it, and if you lost your sniper rifle but managed to find an assault rifle that you attached a scope onto to get a shot off that you might have to, then I would probably say at that point that you can still fire it, but the difficulty would be hard instead of standard.
Yeah, I was also thinking of maybe creating through my tinkering, maybe creating a scope that is able to track. I think it's funny that they say Tuscan Raiders on the same. I think if you remember from the movie how like it would as you're trying to aim, it would like on the screen it would show like it'll track it for you, so you just have to kind of aim for the right situation.
So that's already in the game. And what you do is that you take the aim action. So when you take the aim action, you actually you wait for longer before you actually take the shot. But then it's either that it becomes one step easier. Aiming requires the entire combat round to steady the weapon. And by aiming, the character may reduce the difficulty of the range or situational modifier by 1 grade. Additional rounds spent aiming grant no further advantage. So what you would be doing is that you would have your sniper rifle and you would actually aim for the whole combat round. So do you have 3 actions? Or 2?
I don't. I got 2 actions.
So you would use both your actions to aim, and then you would at the start of the second combat round, you would release your shot. But what it would be is that instead of being you don't have to aim, you could just fire normally, but instead of being standard, roll, it would be an easy roll because you spent that time aiming that combat round. Just to let you know, the other thing that I was going to say to you is that the damage of that sniper rifle is 2d8 plus 4.
Damn.
So it has quite a kick on it. The .5 anti-material sniper rifle, just out of interest, which is military grade, but you would love to get your hands on it
Of course I would.
because it's 2d10 plus 4.
It comes to a free ringtone that where's your head at?
I'm actually going to
Damn.
use that. I think that.
No.
Haven't you used that with something similar already, though? Was that the one that Newman jumped in front of? That was a sniper rifle, wasn't it?
Oh,
It
yeah.
was.
That's where he's getting the idea. He's like,
Yeah.
wow, that seems very effective.
Newman was
And
like, you
we
cannot
could
harm
see where he
me.
was.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
I took out a drone as well.
You
did.
Yeah.
But imagine
I-
using
I-
drones and sniper rifles.
I don't call it a drone. I called it a decoy at the time.
Yeah, I think
Cannon fodder.
I think the other thing with sniper rifles, I think it's really important how you stage the combat, because
Yeah.
I think it would be much more a case that if Hammond had a sniper rifle, he would be in position and nothing would happen until
He would open the combat.
yeah, exactly. And then, so you would that round aiming wouldn't have a huge impact on the first
You'd be
time.
the one
Yeah.
on the tower going, almost ready.
Yeah.
Almost ready.
Is it Navy SEALs when the sniper's called God?
Yes.
And he's high up in a in a crane.
Crane or something. Yeah.
And then he abseils down Hammond. That would be a good roll.
Oh. With an M16 in his hand, upside down.
Yeah, please abseil. So are you going to use 3 of your skill rolls to grab a sniper rifle?
Yeah, I think I will. And I
Okay.
actually will I'll even use one of my skill rolls to kind of up it, because I think it starts at
Strength plus dexterity.
yeah, so we'll start at 20. So I need
That's an accurate sniper.
I just have this vision
They're all going to start somewhere.
of
Yeah.
Minsk and Newman next to the target, and then as Hammond is aiming, them just sort of like taking steps.
Yeah. Making evasive maneuvers.
Yeah. Yeah, go for it. So it'll be what, 20? What will it be to start off with?
it'll be started off as 20.
20.
Sniper rifle's
Okay,
20,
then.
yeah.
So that'll be 3 points. So your 4th point will take up. So it'll be 1d100 plus your intelligence.
Oh, perfect. All right.
Yep. 1d4 then. Nice.
3, so it is now 23. Perfect. All right. Next thing is, what did I say?
So this is roll number 5, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So next one, I'm definitely going to put into electronics.
Nice.
Electronics is currently at 61.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep. So that's a 1d4 plus 1. Nice. 2.
Bummer. Let me put that in really quick. 7. Okay. Then
5 more.
craft device.
Yeah. Is that for your drones?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's at 67 currently.
67. Yeah. Ooh, so that's 68 now.
Yeah. So, and then the other, let's see, definitely craft device. I'm going to put it towards jury rigging. Is that thing we
Yeah.
have managed for? That's always a fun. And jury rigging is currently at 54.
Okay. Is that 55?
5. That's fun. All right, and then should be next is computers. That should be the end of
Yep.
professional skills. Computers currently is at 44.
44. Nice.
Oh!
Oh, yes, that's 1d4 plus 1. It's the skill or above.
Nice.
Oh,
I definitely learned some computering when we
yeah,
acted that thing.
49. Nice.
Spend one. Perfect. All right. And then now I'm going to, I think the last
I think
two,
you got
three.
3. Yeah.
Yeah. Perception and evade.
Yeah, nice. Which one's
So
first?
perception right now is 39.
Ooh. It's now 40.
Yeah. And then evade, which is where is it? Evade is 30.
Yeah. Invest some time for dodging.
There we
Yeah, that's 1d4 plus 1.
And then that should be, that's not 3. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
All right, and then
I think you got 1 left.
yeah, one left. I'm gonna do one more with we'll do craft device, which is at 67.
Okay, yeah, nice. Oh, 68. Just to let you know, just while you were doing that, I was reading about ammunition. And there is, wait for it, a self-guiding ammunition. So it's a self-guided bullet that you can fire, and it permits the selection of the circumvent cover special effect. So when you actually fire it, it will actually go round cover and hit the person.
Can I just say with these auto aim or whatever bullets, can't I just take them out of the box and throw them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw them up in
Did you guys watch? Remember that movie Hot Shots Part 2?
Yes.
Yeah, where he's at the end, where he just like throws them. They all just
Yes.
like. That's how I play.
Bloodiest movie ever.
Yeah.
There's some really nice, things like knockout, paralyzing, scatter shots, tranquilizers. So there's a nice selection. I think to
Lots
give
of non-lethal weapons that we won't ever look at again.
there are non-lethal, but yeah.
Yeah.
So there's somebody else that has your skill rolls, which of course is Perdi. So she has some roles that she can actually increase. Her skills are a little bit higher than yours, and due to her participation, I'm always going to give her half of what you guys have. So she has 5 skill rolls that she can use. I think the other thing is, because she's almost like a robot, she's not quite bothered about improving weapons or endurance or evade or anything like that. So she does have 5 points to improve. So as you know, she has, the only way she can fight is unarmed, and that's it. She has all your normal skills. Her perception is 58, but remember, she actually rolls it easier because of her electronic interface and a sonar and radar that she has. She then has, on the professional skills, she has medicine, which is 96. She has astrobiology, astrophysics, commerce, research, which remember is finding out information, politics, language identification, and sensors. So is there anything in there that you would like her to improve upon?
Newman wants her to get more politics knowledge for entertainment. He really is bored on this desert area, but adventure will come around one day.
Perdi's like the mayor of the town.
Okay, so we want one on politics, yeah?
I meant more like she's our AM radio.
Oh, got it.
So her current politics is
Local politics or just politics?
it's just politics. She can log into any network and instantly know the political situation and then almost like regale you with her. So her politics is currently 35 and her intelligence is 18. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
that I do. So that would be 4 points in her politics. Brilliant. Yeah, so she has, that's now at 39. Do you want her to do anything else or?
First
One more
aid?
politics.
Yeah, so her first aid is 90. So
Ooh.
she can up her first aid with her second roll. So that will go up to 91. Nice. She's got 3 more rolls. Do you want, say, on research so she can find out information by scanning newsreels, etc.?
I mean, that's something that Hammond would do, to be fair, but it'd be nice to have a double up on that.
I don't. Does Hammond have research?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Okay, so a double up. Well, she will double up with a 49. So that's 3. Anything else you would like her to improve, or it's up
The
to,
social skills one.
she has language identification, and she
No,
has.
literally, is there like a social skill, like a bedside manner, because hers suck.
No, but she does have, which is interesting, she does have insight.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Because she can actually, it's just a standard skill, but she can actually monitor heartbeats, raises in temperatures, flickers of eyes, etc. It's not her main module. Her insight is only 38. But she,
what do you guys think?
I think the last 2 should be 1 more in politics, 1 more in research.
Yeah.
Politics thing.
she's happy to do whatever, and she will delight.
Voting.
Do you want to know what's going to be fun? You know what's going to happen for the next few adventures. She's going to regale you with political.
Oh, God, no.
Okay, so this is 1 in politics.
Oh, how about drive? No, she already got drive, hasn't she?
Yeah, only at 32 though.
Oh.
Well, her politics is now 60, so she can talk to the cows come home. And what's the other one? Research. Let's just do that, and then you can always think next time what you actually want to do. So her research is now 61. Okay, the other thing that I want to put to you is that I've been talking to Alex Green, who created a lot of the M-Space stuff. And we've been talking about money. Okay, then. And I don't know how you people feel about it, but I hate penny counting. And how much money we got, and how much of this, and how much of that, and what, do you have enough? How much of these drinks, etc. So
Lose everything you can because we need money.
Yeah, but what we've decided, we're working on a new system called wealth, and the wealth is a skill, and then 1/20th of that skill gives your comfort level. And what that means is that at various levels of comfort, you naturally get certain things. So, you know, if your comfort level is like 12, you gain access to a second-hand starship, or you get your weapons of a higher quality. When your comfort level is 1, then you just have basic food, basic interactions with everything and everything. So rather than, and then what would happen, Minsk, because one of the things we were talking about is your negotiation. You know, what happens there. So jobs, instead of being X amount of credits, would be a plus modifier to the party's wealth. Okay, so you would start off and we'll say, yes, well, this is going to be a standard plus 20% to your wealth. And then your negotiation would adjust that percentage. And then that would be taken into account, or and that could then lead you to a more comfort level. So rather than sort of like saying, well, you got 20,000 from the last job, that needs to be divided up to 4, you've got living costs, etc. It does sort of like, I feel it makes it flow easier. And
would this be a standard skill?
Well, so what it is, and there's 2 things that can happen. It would be a skill for the party to start off with. So the party would have a wealth skill, and the only way it can be improved is by doing jobs. Okay, so you can't add a skill roll.
Everybody, 40 XP rolls.
Yeah, you can't. But
it's just at home.
But the other interesting thing is that individual characters can also have individual wealth skills. And that works when you decide what your trade skill would be. So say, for example, you had a commerce skill, and you were spending downtime actually, you know, buying and selling, etc., then that would actually dictate your own personal wealth as well. So it's a bit like Hazra in the fantasy Mithras has that income, you know, because he buys
Don't buy them, I kill them.
Yeah, kill them and give them. So characters could have their own wealth skill. It also means, and I'm not implementing personal character wealth in this session, but you could have somebody that is incredibly rich, but in their own life, but they're adventuring with a group of you. Does that make sense? So there's that dichotomy between the actual wealth of the party and the wealth of individuals. So what would happen is that rather than saying you've got X amount of money or anything like that, you actually work on your wealth skill as a party. And as it gets higher and higher and higher, you naturally, you know, once it gets to a certain level, you have an option. Do you stay in your shipping container, or do you transfer worlds and go for something a little bit more upmarket? It also leads into secondhand starships, upgrades in armor, upgrades in weapons, due to lore and tech level, of course. But rather than saying that you have to go and steal it, it would naturally progress. The more wealth you got, the more access you would get. What do people think?
I like a large portion of it. I have a few questions though. So a large thing with my character is he's gonna spend all of his downtime creating or tinkering with, like, creating drones or creating different devices to help us all, or even like if we eventually do get a starship, working on that, making that better and everything. So how does that play when I'd be looking for, say, parts to create a drone or parts to create this new, like, weapon technology? How will the wealth skill work on that?
So that would be up to the party as a whole. So what will quite naturally happen is that as you go up the wealth, the various levels of you gain access to more things. So rather than saying you need 50,000 for this, as the party's wealth increases, the party will naturally gain access to better components, etc., etc. Now, it's not a case that the party has to decide, no, we're not giving you drone parts, we want a new spaceship. The party as a whole gains access. So it's a bit like, just as Hammond is gaining access to more parts, Minsk will be gaining access to more, say, better vehicles or better piloting programs. Newman's getting access to upgraded armor and military weapons. And so you can actually, it's not one or the other. You naturally just get that as a party.
But we still get the money, don't we?
Well, you can say...
I'm looking at my 20,000 credits on my sheet in front of me.
Yeah, and I think the question...
it wouldn't be like a Star Trek free world where, hey, we have the wealth. Can we have that, please? It's a barter system.
Yeah,
you'd still be wanting to have cash for an item we'd like to purchase that we now have access to.
Well, it depends how much you want to play it. The original system, how it stands, is that you have money, but it's a bit like, what I don't like is when you go into a tavern and say, I want a cocktail. How much are the cocktails?
3 copper pieces.
Yeah. And I just sort of like think...
I totally agree. I totally agree with that, because I'm not going to paraphrase, but I like the fact you go say, right, I'd like to buy a round for the party, and that's just like forgotten about, because it's like just a party loot done. It's slush money as such.
It is, and I'm not a great personally. I don't like micro managing.
No, I don't.
Things.
I'm the same. I don't want to be sat there going on my couch, going, oh my god, was that 3 credits or 4 credits?
Yeah, and I
2.5.
I don't like the sense that, oh, we only need 4 more credits and then we can get a starship.
You
Can't
know,
get that discount.
Yeah, I like your idea, but there's always. I also like the fact that, and we're not talking small money here. If it is, say, 20,000 to buy a vehicle, then it's not going to be a case of, oh, we're wealth level 7, we can buy a vehicle.
And I think the difference is not necessarily that you can buy a vehicle. The wealth tells you the type of vehicle that you can get and the standard of vehicle. So your wealth level might say, right, yeah, you can buy a vehicle. However, you know, it's
going to be
it's a second hand
from
exactly. And the other thing that I like about the system is that you instantly have that need to increase your wealth by doing jobs, because that wealth is going to give you access to more things.
More things, exactly.
Yeah.
So basically, if we want to bribe somebody, that wouldn't be.
That's a really good. Yeah. So what would happen in that bribing situation is that we'll look at your wealth and think, okay, then you can put in a huge bribe at this point because your wealth is so high. So we actually therefore use the wealth as an augmentation to the role.
Right.
So does that make sense? So
exactly. Yes. So that was my thing, you see, because there's no physical money there.
So you can literally hand over thousands of credits, you know, because 1,000 no longer means a huge amount for you. So there's pros and cons, and Alex and I are still discussing it, and he's gone a lot further with it. But I can't share that because it's coming out it might come out in a future rule book. But I can talk about wealth and sort of like, and I think it also links to tech level as well. that the more wealth you get, your tech level gets higher as well. And I think therefore you can start getting laser sniper rifles, or shotguns that are sonic shotguns and things like that. So my way forward with it at the moment is just to let you know that when we're doing interactions for negotiations, we'll talk about wealth. And I'll say to you, I won't say your wealth skills increase by 2. What I'll say is that, yeah, you've done well, you've negotiation, so it's gone sort of like 3 points in your favor, and then that's it. It also means that you can lose wealth, so if you lose a certain amount of commodities or your spaceship or vehicle, then your wealth is actually going to go down, because you don't have that amount of...
Yeah, I don't like it anymore.
But I think it's got potential and really sort of like avoids that. It's a bit like somebody mentioned buying drinks, and, if you brought a drink for a lady, Minsk, it's not going to be a cold root beer. If your wealth level skill is higher, it's going to be a fancy cocktail with an umbrella that will then have a positive impact on your engagement roll.
That's for me. I'll buy her water.
Yeah. Brilliant. So anyway, that's just to give you a bit of heads up to see what happens, etc., etc. Okay, then. It's just gone 8, so let's make a start and start getting you into the first encounter to see what's actually going to happen in the adventure. Minsk, you have the fence, don't you? You have the fixer that I think everybody knows him, but it's your... Yeah.
And I'm just trying, because he's not Perdi. I thought I put my patterns already. No, the fixer was... Give me a second, I'll just flick through backwards.
Like Mikey or something?
I'd like him to be I like a nice fence or fixer to be a contact for me. Someone that can give me items that I can use to make things.
He's kind of rude to you and I last time.
Yeah.
It was Minx that got along with him.
Yeah.
He was.
Who the hell?
Have you found his name? I know it's his
It's
name.
not Benny, is it? Benny,
It is.
Benny McDougal.
It's Benny McDougal.
Benny McDougal.
Yeah,
I knew there was an M somewhere.
You had a bit of a thing for the secretary, if you remember.
Oh, Miss Betsy.
Yeah. So just to give you a brief update of what's been happening and what's sort of like has been happening since you finished your last job. If you remember, you had tackled the a major corporation. Captain Kangaroo's just turned his camera off, so everybody's just switched places.
Who am I?
You're Newman.
Well, it can't be true, because I'm a judo champion who shoots people.
And
Pooh.
so hang on, right?
I apologize about that. I disconnected the wrong thing.
It's not a problem. So
Typical.
Mr. Pickles, you were Hammond.
Oh no.
Been fun.
Be Hammond, Mr. Pickles.
This one I think it's disconnected.
Come on, Mr. Pickles, you have to be Hammond.
I don't even know how to do a Scottish accent.
You have to you have to do it like this a little bit. So then you bring it down very low, and then you put it down. And all of a sudden,
I don't feel like I'm
All right,
being
Kids,
taught
kids, if
you
effectively.
need to
want this,
understand here, lad.
acting 101.
Yeah.
It's all the gravel right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. There
Yeah,
you are.
because all Scottish people are down south.
You are all in your correct places. So
Perfect.
we're going to say that a significant amount of time, a couple of months, it takes a month for Hammond to learn his sniper rifle, etc., etc. So a significant time has passed since your last job, and there's various things that you will be familiar about on the newsreel. So if you remember, you were actually doing your exploration of what appeared to be Z Corp's science facility, that was deep down in Arid, or in a old mine or some kind of research facility. And you know, since then, Angel Bright was the person that you saved, Newman, and she was the environmentalist, the person who was trying to reveal what Z Corp was actually doing and what they were actually up to. And since your interaction and your encounter deep within the facility, the news fields have been pulsing with Angel Bright for some time, calling for the demise of Z Corp. However, you know, if you remember, Angel Bright's company was called Safe Haven, and there seems to be a lot of interaction going on, and there was serious scandals going across the news, and sort of like saying, you know, this will be the end of Z Corp. Safe Haven has battled through and, you know, taken down, you know, there's a lot of headlines that saying lonely poor company takes down big company in violent and offensive courtroom dramas. It was looking as if it was coming to a nice head about things, and you started to sort of like really watch the news feeds just to see what was going on. And all of a sudden, quite unexpectedly, the whole thing stopped. And the news reads and the news feeds had really been full of it, absolutely full of it. And the only thing that it went silent for about a week, and then there was just one news announcement. And when you actually heard it, you were quite, it sounded very scripted. It sounded very much as if the report lacked emotion and empathy. It was very, this is this, this is this. And it just mentioned that it was almost like that good news at the end of the news, when they say that a little kitten has been saved from a drain pipe. And the news presenter just said, and in other news, Z Corp and Safe Haven have come to a settlement out of court, and it will no longer, everybody is happy and everybody is progressing, and what was going to be a major story has seemed to all of a sudden just had the wind taken out of its sails, and seems to quite nicely, for Z Corp, disappeared and gone. And no other words about it. There's no reports, nothing from Safe Haven,
Nothing from Angel Bright.
Nothing from Angel Bright. I think who is he? She your contact, Newman?
Yes, I'm friends with her.
Yeah. So when you contact Angel Bright, she's still alive. But she seems to have she is taking an extended vacation and is not been able to talk to you. And if you remember, her bodyguard that you were quite friendly with,
I showed him up, so
yeah, he comments about stress and needed to time out to reset, and possible psychological implications. Anyway, she just disappears, and so does Z Corp, and so does Safe Haven, and the news progresses to other things that are happening across the world. If you remember Arid, that you can see the picture on at the moment, I don't think I moved you guys to it, sorry. Arid is quite an out of the way system. It's in the Levito system, out and about, and on World Anvil, if you log in, you'll be able to see the map. And you got this 20,000 credits, that was payment, and you're getting rather sick of your shipping container. Arid's a hot world, and living three of you in there with Perdi, there's a certain need for cleanliness and
ventilation.
Yeah, exactly. And you really get into the feeling that there's still the rest of the system to explore. You want to find out what were you actually doing beforehand, and how come you were at that planet that you landed on. And it seems that you have this drive to actually gain wealth, and almost like to see it as a possible way to escape this planet, where the jobs are quite, how can one put it?
Unsatisfactory.
Yeah. You're not nursemaids, you're explorers. You want to push frontiers, you want to find new alien races to boldly go when no one has gone before. And at the moment, you're just sat in your shipping container.
Well, on the plus side, I caught a new rash since I've been here.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Perdi
have.
identified it, that
Yeah.
it was from a certain encounter that she refuses to make any more
Comments on.
Yeah. There is this idea that the facility seemed to have gone off the radar a lot of the time. And if you remember, when you went back to the tunnel entrance, it was all caved in. But you do get this feeling that facility can't have just disappeared. That was an infrastructure, and that would make a really nice base. If Z Corp has deserted it, if nobody is there, then if you could possibly locate it and maybe find another entrance in it, then it would be quite a nice place to set up. It had the infrastructure of some nice rooms and corridors and elevators and security, and you're thinking about it a lot as you sit in the shipping container. And there is an option at any time for you to try to instigate scans of the planet to see if you can find any other trace, any other way down. You weren't there when it was taken over, but you do know that the tunnel, if you remember, that you went down and set off the alerts, then
That was a fake cave-in.
Yeah. And since that bit, you have started to scan the planet. And really and truly, you think your scanning equipment is quite limited in your shipping container, and you definitely need to get out and about. And it's when you're sort of like thinking about possible ways to investigate the rest of the planet that a Benny gets in touch with you, Minsk, over your normal communication. As he rings, his jovial face perks up on your heads-up displays. He's there in his attire. He has his kilt on and everything, and he he's smiling at you. Yeah, he's asking you to pick up the call.
Eddie, my friend, what can I do for you? Long time no speak.
Minsk. No, sorry, I got too Scottish. So, Minsk. I haven't seen you for a long time. Where you been?
Oh, you know, a bit of here, there, everywhere, really.
You're not still in that shipping container with your boys, are you?
Well, you needs must.
I heard
know,
on the grapevine that you had some kind of rash. Has
No,
that cleaned
no.
up? Did you get some cream for it or not?
You know, it's nice having a Perdi.
You had
He
Perdi,
cured-
you say.
Yeah, Perdi cures everything.
Well,
Amazing bot.
please do let me know where you get it from. I want to definitely strike that one off my list. A rash
Good to
shared
know.
is not a rash shared is not nice at all.
Not nice. No, Benny. No. So, what do I owe the pleasure, Benny?
It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Minsk. I've got a job for you.
Really? Why?
Yeah,
Thank you for
well-
thinking me first.
You're really hard to find jobs for because, you know, you used to have that really smart ship that had hyperdrive and everything. You could jump all over the place, but now your ship's a car, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't remember Benny having a ship. I remember after the ship, but only you've told me about having the ship. So I'm
It
sorry,
was
Benny.
a-
I
it
think
was
I
a
told
fa-
you about this before.
It was a fantastic ship.
Benny,
Really
you are
good.
a good friend of mine. Don't rub it in.
I think it made the Kessler run in under 5 parsecs. I'm sure of it. Anyway, yeah, I got a job for you.
Hammond, I've got a job for you.
It's a rather you know, you could be quite tough, can't you?
Hey, Benny, when have you ever known me not to be?
Well, there's
Well,
this.
apart from, yes.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about that, do we?
What's the bar called?
Oh, God, that's a silly name. Give me a second. The bar is
The dry-
From my
called...
notes.
Dry Gypsy.
That's it.
Yeah, that's about
It's
right.
called the Dry Gypsy. He sort of like says, there's a snooty nose business person coming onto planet. And he's looking for some people to sort of like, you know, look after him while he's here. I thought you guys are quite well trained in that area. You babysat Angel Bright and she seemed really pleased with your work. Just to let you know, she gave you 5 stars on Trustpilot.
Wonderful to know that, Benny. That's great. I mean, to be fair, Newman did most of the work on that, and he was fantastic. So, yes.
Yeah, I think the report says something about how good Newman was.
Oh, yeah. He got a rash too.
So, yeah, are you up for it?
I can't see why not. I mean, let's face it, sitting here with 2 sweaty blokes and a robot isn't my way to spend the evening.
Well, this is a bit of a strange one because he won't actually negotiate with me. So I'm thinking 5% for me, and you can have the rest.
Interesting. Why would you negotiate?
Well, to be honest with you, Minsk, he said that I was, well, he didn't talk to in-betweeners.
Doesn't mean how this works.
Well, he's sort of like new to this planet. He's from some highfalutin system nearer to the core.
Do you have any background on him, Benny?
Background. Yeah, he's a bit of a tosser.
Okay. And do you have the tosser's name?
Well, it depends which one you want.
Mhm.
Give me the polite one, Benny.
So his real name is, and believe me, he actually introduces himself like this. He's called Monty. Percy.
What?
Marmaduke. Smythe. That's
What?
it. Monty, Percy, Marmaduke,
Marmaduke.
Smythe.
And he actually says that out loud.
Well,
This is NPMS.
apparently he has a cooler name that he likes to go with.
Oh, pray tell.
Mort.
Oh,
That's not like the old-fashioned
no.
plasticine person.
No, that was Morph.
Yeah. Apparently it means death.
Yeah.
He says he likes it because he himself is death incarnate. I have no
Hard
idea
hearing.
what incarnate means
Did
at
you
all.
say hard hearing? I'm deaf.
Well, he's certainly something, I tell you. Anyway, he's coming in a day. He's landing at the starport and wishes to talk to his crew, as he refers to you guys as his crew. He wishes to meet you in the starport
What a
and
bastard.
talk business.
Well, I tell you what, Benny. I will meet with him. I will see what it's like, and I may kick him at the backside. Or, well, I won't, but I'm sure Newman will. And either way, we'll see. But we will get you 5% if we do take the job.
Nice doing
Because-
business with you, Minsk. And
No,
remember,
pleasure, Benny, as always.
keep it in your pants.
Speaking of that,
And he turns off the communication.
oh, shut down.
You call him back.
Yeah.
Let me say my joke.
No, I'll call him back when he has to go. Bye.
So you got the patron's name, and yeah,
Yes.
he's got his ship is actually docking tomorrow. And one thing that you do notice in the contact details, he's not on a commercial flight. It is his starship that is docking in Arid tomorrow.
Right. Sorry. Monty something
Percy.
Marmaduke Percy. Sorry, I couldn't read my own handwriting.
Monty, Percy,
I got
Marmaduke,
Perry.
Smythe.
Smythe at the
So
end, yes.
Close
like
is this spelling to all that?
like Smith, but with a Y and an E.
Yes.
Of course, yeah. Naturally.
Percy was, and then I forgot.
I like to imagine this entire phone call happened while we are all playing cards in our sweaty sea container, and it was on Nick's
Yes.
turn.
And it
He
was on
about to
video.
play his card, and it just okay.
I'd like to think it was on video and you're in the background still
Yeah, you're all
horsing around.
you're all in a hot, steamy shipping
Yeah, flapping
container.
with his towels.
Yeah,
I would like to imagine that
just in your
that Hammond
vest.
has created AC for the sea containers at least.
I think you
I
just
also
you,
think Hammond blew
screen.
it up accidentally or used parts and it fell apart.
you just sat
True.
there.
Rebuilding your drones.
You sat there. Your whatchamacallit,
Yeah,
your
PJs.
vests,
Vest.
your wife beater vests, and your underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not so much a green screen, it's more like a used chiffon duvet or something.
Yeah, let's see what Hammond has made with the aircon. Well, your jewelry rigging well.
Oh, ooh, this is gonna be fun.
Oh, I think one way or the other.
Jury rigging.
Have you put a sound processor on your mic? 'Cause I think
Sound closer.
you
I
just
sound.
you just
what-
sound
what?
a lot deeper, as if.
No,
that's
this
voice.
is my natural
Yeah.
voice when it's not done by this.
See, mine's all sound processor. I don't sound.
Is it
like
too
that.
loud? I just connected my
I
new
would
mic
turn
to
it down.
This is what it will really sounds like.
About this, is this fine?
Yeah, that's-
a bit less close.
That's
Yeah.
good. All right.
We were actually
Pink
feeling your
cap.
spit on your faces.
Oh.
Hey,
You were
Kath,
there.
how you
Well,
doing?
I wanted the good clarity. I wanted you.
Oh, that's a nice jewelry rigging roll. Do you
Yeah.
wish?
Wow.
You know what? Yeah, it's right before break. Yeah, I'll use my luck point. I'm gonna reverse that.
Okay, so but that won't make it a critical, but yeah, Hammond has done some work to the aircon. I'm going to give you a choice here, Hammond, and only you will know this at this point. So obviously you've made some adjustments to the aircon system, and it's a lot blowing a lot cooler air. But did you fox the regulator that said how much power you're actually drawing, which quite naturally you pay for? So it's drawing more power, but have you actually thought, let's just reduce that slightly?
It would make sense. Like, I don't want to overextend it.
You can roll your electronics roll, and then that would
fix the issue or not?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You can make it a lot less.
Finally going to use these awesome rolls I've invested so many points into.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. Yeah.
Well,
that would be.
You've actually tapped it off the system.
Nice.
The actual small energy company in Arid actually thinks that your aircon is actually turned off at the moment, and you're not paying anything for it at all. It sees it as completely disabled, but it's actually working so much so that people are huddled outside your door if you just to sort of like cool off, because it's absolutely super. Newman is still in his armored jacket and feeling super cool as it.
I like to imagine that
like some of the war men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You start seeing frost like eventually on surfaces and whatnot. Yeah. That's nice.
And just before we go to break, I just had another question for you. I like the idea that you all sat around playing cards. Are you all sat around playing cards by yourself, or have you invited other residents of Arid into the shipping container?
I would like to say we have. I like to say that we're putting effort into trying to create connections.
Yeah, Minsk would definitely be sociable. He'd be like, trying to get money from whoever he can, really.
Okay, then.
I've got slight for dealing, so
never take money from your friends.
So, Minsk, could you make an insight roll? And Newman, could you make a streetwise roll? Let's see what type of people you actually get in.
Thought you were going to let me roll my slight to deal like a crazy person. Here's streetwise. Ooh.
Okay, so both you succeed. So you both manage to identify the people who shouldn't be in your card game. Minsk, you actually probably go a little bit further than that, and actually,
pretty people.
Yeah. Well, you invite people in whose tells you can actually recognize, and so they're making a lot of loss at the moment. And Newman,
but not too much, because we want to come back.
Exactly, but you're making a nice profit. And Newman, you've managed to ensure that anybody who's coming in is not actually downright dirty or criminal. They're up for some friendly card games and actually some interactions with you. But you're certainly getting into the social aspect of Arid. Yeah, go for it.
I'd like to think that also Hammond would be interjecting, maybe find some information out about what's going on in the city as well.
Hammond's probably also trying to create a relationship with maybe the junkyard. Perdi, no. Maybe a junkyard owner of some sort, or a person who runs a junkyard, maybe trying to see if you maybe look out for certain parts that you can use to configure and make into different things, such as drones and or additions to his own speeder, which, remember, everyone, I have a cool-ass speeder.
Yeah, because you have a 2-seater, and I think
I do.
Minsk has a 4-seater?
Is it a 4-seater mine?
Well, I was thinking outside of, because it's a month, outside of working on creating my drones and of course working on becoming a sniper, I thought the third thing where I can actually put some use for Newman, and that is to create turrets on our speeders.
Okay, so your
Mine just says 560.
yeah.
Size
So
resin straight.
I need to check. I'll have a look in the break. I don't think your speeders have the capacity for. Let me see how. So generally, all vehicles have modules.
Oh, crew quarters 4. Sorry, crew quarters
Yeah.
4.
So in your stat, does it say whether or not what your number of modules are?
On my stats.
So speeder bike. Yeah. So see, a speeder bike comes with a heavy.
Module. It says. Oh, it doesn't give a total module is 4. Q quarters 4. So it's usually 4 modules. Yes.
Yeah. So if you so like an all-terrain ATV medium vehicle actually comes with a heavy blast cannon in it that does 4d8 plus 4 points.
Nice.
Just to let you know that a speeder bike actually comes with a heavy blaster rifle in it as standard that actually does 3d6 points of damage.
Damn.
The only sad thing about it is that when you fire it, the recoil actually sends you. Sadly, your actual land speeders, both of them come with no weapons. They are, however, armored. I don't know if you've got that down.
But that was wondering, is something I can work on and actually add them.
Yeah, so what you would have to do is take out some of the modules that are actually in there to start off with. So it will reduce either. So you have I think yours is a land speeder fast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
No, sorry, that's been standard. Mine, sorry.
yeah, yours is standard.
Fast.
So yeah, so it's like your land speeder standard has 10 armor points on it, and the fast one has 8. So you could reduce the size of the speed of it, or reduce the handling, reduce the amount of cargo space it can hold, reduce the amount of armor in order to release enough modules to then put a weapon in it, if that makes sense.
The best scenario, it would be up to you, Minsk, but it would be the cargo space, right? Release some cargo space in the back and then use that so that way.
In my speeder, I have no cargo space. I've literally got 4 seats.
No, your speeder has 100 kilograms of cargo space.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it your, just so you know, your land speeder is about 5 meters long and 2 meters wide. So it's nice.
Right, okay, because cargo bay on here says nothing.
Yeah. It should say 100 on. It says 100 on mine, so
okay.
I'll transfer it across.
But essentially, what I'm trying to create here is like all-terrain military-like vehicle that when we pull up, Newman can be blasting, and so that way it gives us a little bit of cover, so that way we can like deck out or maybe not even get out of it.
I totally agree, because the way we rocked up to those bandits in the desert the other week or the other month, sorry, was great, because you had you guys firing out of the windows, and me driving.
So
it was great.
Newman, do you have a gunnery skill? That's the first thing.
I was going to interrupt. I do have gunnery, because we all have an ability to work on our starship, and that's what I did. But I think everybody would remember, maybe in our past, that gunnery was something I did with basic training and didn't really expand on it from there. I like the streets, and often in the streets I'm not on a turret, so my gunnery is only a 37.
That's fine.
Yeah, I just thought I'd put that out there. It's a 37. Well, I appreciate the idea. It's just shooting out the window with my shotgun, if I can, it's going to be much better at a 79, or my medium revolver.
Yeah, it worked last time.
What if I also? Okay, something we can work on later. I was thinking maybe we can make an
I-
automated turret,
I,
like
I,
a
yeah, an auto turret, like put
Yeah,
like
drill a drone on
a
top.
drone brain on
Yeah.
an auto turret.
But I like the way we did things last time, going to the camps and the mine where it literally just rocked up with you guys in the back.
Yeah, we blitzkrieg them essentially.
Mm.
Yeah,
you what, Si?
we'll blitzkrieg them.
I have no idea.
Blitzkrieg.
I've never heard that
German.
phrase.
You've never heard the phrase blitzkrieg?
No.
What? That's what
Never.
it's what the Germans did in World War II to overtake France.
Can I
They
just
like
say that
focus.
I was playing Lost Ark and got really worried because it kept saying logging. And I thought that was when you go somewhere in your cars and have sex outside, but apparently it's
No,
not.
that's dogging.
Yeah. So that's my level. Okay, let's take a break, and during that time, let me have a look at the vehicle rules, and then we'll come back, and then what we'll do, we'll have the encounter with Mort, and then I can have a look at it in between and see what we can actually do.
Did you ever go to the logging camp?
Yeah. A logging cabin. Okay, then. We will see you all in 10 minutes. So we'll see you at 10 to the hour. Okay, so go off, grab yourself a coffee. We'll be back real soon. See you soon. And I think we're back now. Can you just talk, someone? Make sure you're on.
I can talk like this, star. This is how I sound.
Just to let you know, Captain's got a nice new mic that glows red.
It glows
so
red.
He's had several people coming around knocking at the door asking for standard rates.
What's the service?
A lot of red in my house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were talking about changing your vehicles. Okay. So 2 things. We could mess around with the capacity of your vehicles and start to replace things. For example, your cargo is both of your cargoes, anything up to 100 kilograms. So that's both yours, is considered one module. Okay, so you could readjust it so you take out all that module, so you have no cargo, and then there are 2 weapons that are actually one module in size, which is the heavy laser rifle and the heavy blast rifle. Okay, they're both one module. These are assumed to be controlled by a gunner. Now, when I say gunner, I'm not meaning that somebody's in the turret moving around. It's a bit like, they will have their headset or the targeting things in front of them, and they can sort of like line it up and fire at will. So it's not like a turret. Those are not pop-ups either. They're on the outside of the vehicle and really quite obvious, etc., etc. It is possible to have it auto fire. Now, in order to make it auto fire, you need to put sensors into the vehicle, which is another module, depending how good you want it. What that happens then is that the gun will fire on automatic using the sensors. That is always limited by the pilot skill of the vehicle. So if Minsk is drive, what's your drive skill? Your piloting skill, Minsk?
Muted.
I think you are muted.
Sorry, 76.
76. So the sensors, no matter how good they are, will always be limited by up to the piloting skill of the driver. So you mentioned passengers. So passengers are classed as one module per passenger. So Hammond, you have nothing to spare there because yours is a one person. Well, Minsk, you do have modules there because yours is a 4-seater. So you
But
can
I would never take away that because it's 4 of us.
So sensors take up one module. And then, for example, there's not then really exciting things like self-repair. You can then upgrade the engine or hit points. So what happens, armor points goes up in numbers. So I think yours is 8, which is one module. I think yours is 10, Hammond.
That's right. Mine's 10.
Yours is 10, so that's 2 modules that are in there. It's roughly about 1 module per 5, and then that's it. The other thing is hit points are 1 per module. So I think if you've got hit points of something like 50, I think one of yours is that, then that's a huge amount of modules, so you can remove that. But you have to remember that the hit points is the integral structure of the vehicle.
Your mine's 60.
Yeah, so if you take it down to say 10, and then you get shot.
I wouldn't want that.
The other thing
Got by a blaster.
Yeah, the other thing to remember that if you do get hit in your vehicle, which hasn't happened yet, there is a malfunctions table. So, for example, if you get hit, once the hit points of the vehicles gets down to half, then you start rolling on the malfunctioning table. So say, for example, you rolled a 4, your speed is halved. If you roll a 3, then the maneuverability is reduced. So your pilot or drive skills reduced by half. You go into uncontrollable spin, power out, no sensors or weapons. And for starships, major leak and things like that. So that's sort of like things.
Okay.
So what I
So how much cargo modules can do we have to spare in mix in his vehicle?
Well, I have 100 cargo hold, which is 1 module. But to be honest, I'd rather not mess around with my car, my land speeder, sorry, because it's ideal to get us from into somewhere. I can put that on the windows, you can shoot through the windows, and we can load at the back with equipment if need be. And it's got very good hit points. It's 60 hit points.
Okay.
So we can get in somewhere, drop off, or set up as a defense position like we did before.
Okay.
I see where you're going.
Yeah.
But I can't see what a
I
turret would do where your drones, when we get them, because we've already put money aside for your drones, where your drones wouldn't compensate for lack of a turret. And shooting through a window is the same. So I see where you're coming from by putting a big gun on the speeder, but I do think it would detract from what it does.
What else we can do aggressively? Because it's with the sensor and the turret, it's going to take too much space.
I'd rather chuck the money we have at your drones.
Okay.
Because they're awesome.
Could I also upgrade the drones? Maybe. We
need to buy you 2 drones, don't we? First.
Yeah, we need to still buy your drones.
Upgrade from having none.
Yeah, that'd be a good start.
I think if you wanted to upgrade your vehicles, I think the best thing is to buy a new vehicle. And something like the all-terrain vehicle that has 6 people roof-mounted heavy blaster. It has cargo area for expedition gear, and armor points are 16, hit points are 100.
Oh wow.
You know, that
Well,
that is a serious piece of.
but bearing in mind that I can only fly, I can only drive hover vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and luckily there is a hover option.
Then why aren't we going shopping for that? Why are we
Yeah. I
sitting
didn't
in the
know.
sea container playing cards? Then we can
with the yokels.
Why can't we be
Yeah.
shopping, guys?
but that's we
Shopping montage.
I want to go on adventure. We need to be going on expeditions, and based on that advertisement that just came onto all of our comms devices, I feel like we should be getting one of these. Do
Yeah.
you see how 16 armor points?
16 armor points.
That's like my
That's a tank.
shotgun at best could do 2 damage to the side of it.
Yeah.
That is nice. That is
It-
How much is that? Can we get it?
To have air conditioning.
yeah.
I will put air conditioning in it.
Okay, then I don't care about that question.
We can lose you from the from our container though, but he would put it in it.
Just to let you know, Hammond, the
Yeah.
owner of the junkyard
Yeah.
on Arid, is called Tabora Vasquez.
Tabora
I've put
Vasquez.
I've put her name in
Thank you.
the chat for you. So
Tabora Vasquez. Yeah.
she's not actually a contact at the moment, but she is the owner of the junkyard. You probably don't want to interact with the junkyard is, you know, taking over old vehicles and selling them for scrap, etc. It might mean that if you want to upgrade your vehicle, then you'll probably need to order it off world and, you know, on another system and have it brought to you.
Yeah.
The nice thing about that, of course, is that it will instantly increase your rep within Arid. You know, and if you can find the facility, the underground facility, then you might also be able to find vehicle storage there, access to shuttlecrafts, etc., etc. So I think you've got a fantastic shopping list. I think what you need at the moment is wealth.
Yeah.
That's what you need. And I think if you can actually, I think Arid would really look up to you as enforcers of the protectors of Arid, you know, in your ATV that's got, well, but
Yeah.
you would be protectors, but you would also draw attention.
Yeah.
Because you know that core has been on this planet before, and because you all met them, so you know that that's possible as well. But I totally agree with you. I think it'd be really nice to have a nice vehicle, even if you invest in a vehicle and some bikes that actually come with vehicle guns attached to it. Yeah, you did lose your drones last time. You could, with that amount of money for that wealth that you've got at the moment, that can actually replace them. So you can actually, what did you actually lose? Was it a life surveillance and a security?
Yes.
Yeah. So those can easily be replaced. That's probably where some of your 20,000 credits went to actually repair those and actually not repair them, to buy them out new. So you can say that you've got those back, not a
Nice.
problem. it was light surveillance and security, wasn't it?
From what I remember, yes.
Yeah.
I might have to look at the book again, but I'm pretty confident that's what
I
it was.
didn't know whether or not it was a guard bot.
No, I want to get a guard bot, but it was a security drone.
Okay, yeah, cool. So those, and I think that's a good point from Minsk. That'll bring you back up to your standard, because I think one got shot by a sniper.
Yeah. And one I used to save medevac again, I think.
Both of them were snipers.
Yeah, I think both of them were used to save medevac.
I'm saying nothing. No, it wasn't Medivac. It wasn't Medivac. It was Minsk.
It was
It was
Minsk.
Minsk, yeah.
Medivac never needs saving at all.
No,
Saving.
not at all.
And yeah, well, no, one I asked you to get on a corridor with, and the other one you flew in front of a bullet
Yeah.
Right.
by accident.
So what we can do is that we can, I'm not going to sort of like go backwards on it. We can have the drones, and then we can have a chat about vehicles and what we want, and then look at your wealth. And then I'm quite happy to take the downtime if there's enough wealth involved to actually have ordered it, you know, so it's on its way to Arid, you know, if that's where you want it delivered. But
You could also sell your previous vehicle to help pay for that too.
yeah, and it's whether or not you want to keep them, just to have that bit like Iron Man when he has all the vehicles in the garage, or whether or not you want separate ones. So yeah, so did anybody want to do any research about Monty?
I'll look into it, the computer systems and whatnot. I'm assuming I have a computer that might have access to information.
So roll
within
your research skill.
It's not great, but it's all right. No. You know what?
First,
I do want to. Should I use a point of luck or no?
no, it's on the fly. It's your character. Would you?
I think
Nah, he's probably still looking. He just spends time not really
He's
seeing
sort
much.
of
I
like
guess.
Hammond starts to go and starts investigating, but he gets sidetracked by recommended videos or the new anime that's out, and before he knows it, you know, you're sort of like the group says, anything we should know about this guy? And Hammond's no. I think he's quite clean. He's absolutely fine.
Question: how far away was the facility? Like, was it hours, days?
I think
4 hours.
yeah, I think you. Well, I need to check because I've got it written down somewhere. But I think it was a few. I think it took you a day to get to the trailer where the guy lived. I think that was it, but I can check. You know, the thing that is closer is the mine that that you went first of all with, you know, when you got
the metal doors and the sensor trips.
Yeah, but you went to another mine before that you got attacked by people on motorbikes.
Oh
Yeah.
That is closer.
That's closer. Okay.
Yeah.
Because we have a day until this ship arrives. I thought it might be nice to go take a trip out to the facility to check on it.
Yeah.
You're
But
right.
if it takes too much time, then it's not worth it, I guess.
I'm down for adventure.
What you know about that area, full stop at the moment, is that there was a tunnel that you know existed. If you remember, you parked your vehicles down at one side and went down the tunnel, and that was when the security alarms were tripped, and then you went down a set of stairs that took you down to the lower levels. Now you do know that tunnel itself has been artificially caved in. So what the scans are doing is, you know, the general area where that's happened. It's whether or not there's any other entrances to the facility. Does that make sense?
If memory serves me, It was downstairs, through a door. There's a corridor to the right. We went straight ahead to the main, a thing in the middle, which then segmented off, didn't it?
Yeah. So it looked. This was the segment in the middle. Can you see that?
That's
now?
the one I like.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, and then there was at the where that you went. This was the security area.
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then the other thing was there was a set of stairs going down that looked like this. If you remember, and you
That's right.
came down like a
wrecking ball.
yeah, you came down like a series of steps. So what the scans are doing at the moment is that we're scanning. You're busy scanning to see whether or not you can find any other entrances. Who actually has the scanning skill? Sensors, it would be.
Sensors, yeah. I have 41% on sensors.
Okay then. So let's do. Why
Can I
don't,
augment that, or is that not a?
do you have sensors as well?
I do indeed, professional.
So in which case,
And I also have my drone, which one of them is meant for sensors, right?
yeah, but its sensors are not as good as the you're doing deep surface scans
okay.
rather than scans over the top. So so yours, you can actually augment, means you can augment Hammonds.
That'd be another 9% on top, if I'm right. 41.
All right, I'll do that. All right.
Is it 9%?
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Or is it 16%? Sorry.
9%.
There's 9, yeah, right.
Yeah. You should. The augment, is the augment button on still?
Cool. Oh, it is. Bottom left, right below in world.
Yeah.
All right. I just we probably want this figured out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
So what's
All right, then
hang on.
I'm going to use my luck on that
Ha-
one then.
Hang on a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on. Before you do anything, we ignore that role because you don't have all the information. So this is actually a conflict pool role.
Oh, okay.
So it's not something that you sit down, go da 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 da, or we found it. This will be over the time. Each roll that we're making is taken a day to actually.
You're literally scanning a certain area.
Yeah, and then
area.
everything like that. So what we need to do, your combat, your pool will be. Let me think. It'll be your intelligence would be your the average of your intelligence and your power. So your intelligence is how you're interpreting the results, and your power is your perseverance to keep going. So that'll be your combat pool. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
So what's the average of those two?
Well, my intelligence is 16. My power is 8.
So that's
not very powerful
12
guy,
then, isn't it?
Yeah. 12.
So your dice pool is 12.
Mine would be 13.
Yeah. So this is the so you should have your dice pool, and you've got your sensors augmented by
your captain,
by Minsk. Yeah. Okay then. So this is the first round. So this is like the first day of the scanning. So you roll your sensors.
Okay. There we go.
Okay, so I roll my security. Okay, so you win that. You win that roll. So you roll a 1d6.
All right. I'm sorry, moving this over. 1d6. Ooh,
Okay,
nice.
so that's altered my dice pool now. Let me just make a note of it. Okay, so that's the first day. Okay, so second day now. Okay,
Bummer.
so I win that one. So your dice pool takes 3 points of damage.
So 9. All right.
When it gets down to half, remember that all your rolls become a difficulty of hard. Okay, so
Okay.
this is day 3 now.
Oh my god.
Mine's a crit, so you need to crit to win.
Oh,
Yeah. No.
Okay, so now you
Damn.
take another 5 points of damage off your
Which
pool.
puts me at 8, not minus 12. So I will be at 4 now. So I'm at half now.
Yeah, so your next roll for day 4 needs to be at hard difficulty.
Going to roll for it.
So yeah, so you do make that. So
Oh.
I will take a 1d6 from you.
Nice. Come on, baby. Let's do this 1d6. Let's get it. Damn it. All right.
Okay. So this is day 5 now, I think.
You're really fighting this project.
I don't know. That's what we want to do, I guess.
I
Let's do
just
it.
imagine Newman walks by as you spent like a whole night angrily typing away.
Oh, no. It's hard, though.
Yeah,
Get
so
it.
that's failed. So
Yeah.
you take another 6 from me.
And that would be.
game over, man.
And I've perished.
Okay, so what's happened now is that your conflict pool has been depleted. So you've got to that stage that you spent 5 days looking at this, and you sort of like think, oh, stuff this.
All I'm thinking in my head right now is like, wait, should I have been doing something for like 4 days ago?
Yeah, and now you sort of like think, right, I'm going to leave it for. So this all happened in the downtime.
Okay. Okay.
So, and because after that you can't do it again for a month. So you've had your week at it. So you now take the other 3 weeks to bring your conflict pool back up, and then you can try again. And yeah, Minsk, you're feeling this as well, because he kept saying to you, "Come over and have a look at this."
Have a look at this.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think this, and what's this anomaly there? And you're just like, yeah, it's fine. This, but near the
So
end,
maybe next time we can get Perdi to do it.
yeah. Well, Perdi can. She can actually do it by herself.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe we should, when we get to see. Well, yes, but we'll discuss that.
Yeah. Once you've got another period of time,
Yeah.
then that would be absolutely brilliant. Okay, then.
Can 2 people assist?
It depends. Yeah, any number can assist, but it does mean that all those people are out of action for that period of time. But it doesn't affect the conflict pool.
Right. Yeah.
It only affects the skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay then. So we are the next day. Therefore, is when you are heading off for your meeting at the starport. Now, if you remember, you have been told to meet Mort and there, and it's in the morning, the next morning, about you're getting to the point that you wonder whether or not he's actually forgotten. Because it's near on 11 o'clock when you get and the information is pinged to your contact mints. You assume that Benny must have passed it on, and you get a text message. It's purely a text message that sort of like says in quite a domineering tone if you read it like that. It's just a text message, but you just get a comment that says, "I am here, where are you?"
Yeah. You should do something about that.
At which point I'll reply, "I'm sorry, Monty Percy, Marmaduke Smythe, we didn't get a message saying you were inbound. So we are on our way now. We'll be there in 5.
There's no reply to your message, and Perdi says, "Sorry, will you be needing me?"
Possibly, Perdi, if you'd like to follow anyway, because I may kill some. No.
Do you want to or not? She says,
Yes.
I can bring you up to date with a very interesting political matter that has been brewing several systems away. I would be.
Yeah, we're gonna need Perdi along. Definitely.
It will be absolutely exciting to tell you what is happening. The statistics and the analytics are simply unbelievable.
Lay him out for us, Perdi.
And so as you sort of like set off, can all of you roll a willpower check?
I am definitely going to lose this one.
Just
The best willpower of all my characters, and I still failed.
I want you all to look at Arthur's willpower on this one. He doesn't care about anything.
Oh my goodness.
So let me just roll Perdi's political skill, because she's really, because it would be opposed by her political skill.
So now.
Can I use a point to look on my roll?
You can do
it. I will use the point to look to 18, please.
Is this where I shoot her with my rifle?
No, I'm knocking that point to look off. Now gone.
So Zach,
worth it.
Minsk, you sort of like managed to turn yourself off and concentrate on driving or walking. Zach and so yeah, Newman and Hammond, you really get almost like a mental battering of figures, analytical growth spurts, demographics, current post voting, a huge amount of a political propaganda and demographics and vote rigging, etc. Very much so that the whole of the journey seems to last. It's only about a 20-minute journey, but for you it actually lasts. And Perdi does say at several points, just to remind you, there will be a quiz on this on the return journey, so I will be really interested to see how well you have both listened and engaged and actually understood what I was saying. Oh, look, we are at the starport. See, that is what happens when you indulge your minds in very intellectual, in an intellectual capacity. Time just flies by.
Yeah, now I'm angry. I don't know why.
Percy, I need you to shut the hell up.
Minsk is already out of the
yeah. Minsk probably has something in his ears that he just sort of like switched to.
Yeah, he's able to block out that
noise cancellation.
It's a bit like me when you have kids, you can turn anything off.
As you approach the starport, Newman, will you roll a perception check for me, please? Oh, ooh. Yeah. Okay, then. As you approach, as you sort of like enter, Newman, you notice this straight away and probably communicate it to the rest of your group. You see that there's about 6 men/women posted around the entrance, the foyer of the starport. The reason you notice them straight away is for the following reasons. All of them, including the female ones, have short cropped hair. They are all wearing dark glasses, sunglasses. They are all wearing Men in Black suits, black jacket, black trousers, white shirt, black tie. You notice instantly that they seem to not be used to wearing that sort of like gear in this sort of heat. But the thing that really probably bugs you, Newman, as such, so much is unbelievable, is that they haven't done up their jackets. And in an effort to be colder and not overheat, they've undone their jacket, which is actually exposing to the whole of the starport their shoulder holsters that are actually underneath on their right-hand side that seem to be carrying some kind of automatic pistol. You also notice that they have communicators in their ears, and they're not the small, I can hide these. They almost like look as if they on purpose have bought really big ones just to sort of like feel the part. And as you walk in and you walk past one, you hear the person say, he sort of says, "They have entered the building and they are walking across now. They should be with you in about 5 seconds."
I feel
once
the
we're
urge
out of
after
earshot,
overhearing that, go backwards. Guys,
Yeah, Newman would definitely tell everybody that these posers are keeping track of us.
You also notice that 2 of these security guards or bodyguards, for want of, are positioned outside the canteen within the starport. They are both positioned at the door, and they are both stood there slowly, almost like in a robotic fashion, scanning the area backwards and forwards. And they seem to be not reacting to the crowd that is outside at all. And as you get closer, you can hear various people complaining. And the sort of like the voices, you all hear this. Your voices are saying things like, "Who does he think he's? I hadn't even finished my drink. I hadn't even bought my drink. I hope they're not going to charge me for this. He just ushered us out. Can you imagine? He just ushered us out." And anytime one sort of like steps forward and says, "Excuse me," and the guy just sort of like puts his hand up and says, "Please stand back. We do not want to use aggressive force in this situation." And the spindly man sort of like steps back and sort of like says to the others, "He said something about aggressive force."
well, we're assuming that Tosca's in there, so let's. Let's go in there. Let's just walk in, not even acknowledge the 2 guards, and just walk straight into this this cafeteria.
Yeah, so you sort of like move your way through the crowd, you know, sort of like gently moving people away. Newman probably just walks through it and expects it to part somewhat like the Red Sea. But talking about the Red Sea, as you leave the perimeter of the crowd that has been set up, and as you walk up to the security guards, they step to one side slightly, and one even pushes the door, and you hear one of them says, "So they are entering the canteen now."
I was going to say, without breaking a breath, we're going to ignore the security guards and just walk straight anyway.
Yeah, and they sort of like, well, they purposely open the door. You do hear, by the way, behind you, people say, "Who do they think they are? What? How come they're allowed it? I don't think they've been on this planet very often at all." And one says, "Oh, they're the ones that have really good aircon. I've played cards at their place recently. Oh, I hope they don't know what's going on." And the noise sort of like subsides as the doors are closed behind you. And the first thing that you notice in the canteen, that there's a lot of tables and a lot of chairs, and a lot of the tables have food on them, trays on them, synth food, etc., etc. There seems to be like a canteen bar area that you can get your processed food out of machines and put them on a tray. And some of the trays are actually just left on the sort of like the conveyor belt or the slidey thing with synth food on, and there's a cashier robot at the end, you know, who naturally scans and deducts things, your payment from your credit cards. And right in the middle, almost like lounging back in his chair, is a rather portly man. The first thing that you notice straight away is that he is clad in combat gear. He's got combat boots, he's got combat trousers, he's got a combat shirt on, he has a dark pair of shades on, and there's next to him is what could only possibly be described as a dolly bird. She's blonde. She's very athletically built. She has long, flowing blonde hair. And she's in a similar combat gear, combat trousers, boot. But her top is like a combat top, but the buttons are down. And she's done that weird thing that somehow she's managed to tie it so her midriff is showing, and she's literally lounging over this portly guy.
Can I just ask, is this combat gear, is it not that actually Minsk wouldn't know? I was going to say it's like it's like, so you go, oh, fishing, I must buy all the fishing gear. Or is it just, or is he akin to wearing it?
Okay, roll your insight as you approach.
No.
Yeah, you're not too sure. It looks pretty nice, you know, but you're not too sure. Newman, if you want to roll your insight, then you can, but you can do it at easy because of your general background.
And I'm also curious if it's like fatigues or if it's actual armored stuff.
Yeah, got ya.
Standard.
Yeah. It looks like it's some bought over the counter from Primark. It's not proper combat fatigues or camouflage or anything like that. It's not, you know, made of the normal proper stuff. It's definitely fake combat gear, that a bit like what Minsk said, you know, when you want to do something, you go and buy all the fishing gear. He's obviously gone out and bought all the combat gear. And as he sees you, I presume, Minsk, you're leading the way.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and you sort of like walk your way in, and he says something to the young girl, and the girl goes, oh, Mort, and she sort of like prods his belly, and he sort of like guffaws with laughter, and he sees you coming in, and you the first thing you hear from his lips, Minsk, is, I know, I can see them. And he sort of like stands up and comes straight over to you. And as he approaches you, he thrusts his hand out and said, gentlemen, you must be my, well, what shall we call you here on this rather desolate planet?
Minsk will smile genuinely, hold out his hand and say, we're here to help. Now, what is your need of us?
And he sort of like grabs it really firmly, you know, that you suddenly...
That my held up bit off the sheet out and shoot him.
Yeah. You're sort of like thinking, I'm glad I didn't put the hairline trigger on it, you know. And he actually shakes your hand and make a brawn roll for me, please.
Why'd you do that for me? Why?
It's gonna squish your hand.
So Newman steps up and shakes his hand for me.
Yeah, and you sort of like...
you know what? I can't reverse it, can I?
You can't, no.
No.
He sort of like comes out and shakes the hand. You grab the hand, and just as you grab the hand, he pulls his arm in and sort of like embraces you in some kind of manly hug and sort of like whacks you on the back, you know, and you sort of like that, and he sort of like pushes you away, holding on to your his arms, and so he sort of like squeezes you a bit and says, well, I must admit, I thought you would be mighty strong, well, a little bit stronger than what you are, but no worries, I suppose your talent is elsewhere. Come, sit down. Come and sit down. Let us talk business, shall we? He was a bit Minsk. He was a bit sweaty as well. Just so you know, there's a bit of moisture around.
So I'm gonna briefly turn around as he walks back to his table, and I'm gonna whisper to Hammond and to Newman, "Please don't let me kill him."
I can't promise anything, lad.
And I'll switch around again, smile on my face, and walk to the table.
And Perdi walks in and says, hello, my name is Perdi. I am a medical robot in the charge of these fine group of people. And he sort of like looks at her, he says, and sort of like looks at you, Minsk, and says, you know, I could probably find you a proper bird if you want me to, rather than, you know, a robot, if you know what I mean. Come, sit down, sit down.
Montague.
Oh,
I'll have you know that Perdi has helped us through many times.
Montague.
So
it's Monty.
Monty, sorry.
Monty Percy Marmaduke.
Don't worry,
Smile.
what's a change in names between us, Pickle? Let's come and sit down. Oh, can I introduce to you my colleague here? And she sort of like gets up and readjusts herself and does that thing when she turns on one side and lifts one leg up slightly to be, sucks everything in. And she sort of like turns to you all and says, hello, my name is Lucy May. I am Mort's personal reporter. I'm in charge of all his personal matters, and I have the responsibility from my news feed to report directly to them about all the wonderful things that Monty does. He does so many wonderful things, don't you, Monty? Oh, lass, no, but you do, Monty. Oh, you're a little sweetie, she turns to you, Minsk, and says, she's a little sweet, isn't she?
Seems very weird.
It's what? He says, I can get you one if you want. Would you like one? Better than your Perdi robot, I tell ya. Sit down. And he looks at you, Newman, and said, yes, and you are?
I'm Newman.
Newman, welcome. Nice to meet you. And he whacks out his hand to shake you.
I don't want to shake his hand, so I don't put my hand out.
I see. Not a shaker. I fully understand. Yeah, you must be one of those combat experts. I can see it in your eyes. And you, old man, will be...
Not too old. I'm Hammond.
Did you hear that, Lucy May? Did you hear that? Not too old. You don't think she got the joke?
No. I'm gonna whisper when he heads back to his desk. I'm gonna whisper in Newman's ears. I think Mulchi has small python energy.
Are you going to shake his hand or not?
Yeah, I'll shake his hand.
Okay, then roll your brawn.
Oh shit!
I feel like I'm the only one who should have, but I don't want to
I
touch this.
know. Oh.
Oh no, that's 5 for him. He
Give him a hug.
brings you in
You-
for friendly slap on the back, and then as he moves away, he sort of like looks at you, Newman, and says, "Are you more of a sort of guy? Yeah, I can do that." Oh, he's so in with all the trends today. Oh, Monty, you say, "Yeah, he says, "Yeah, we can do that if you wish." Newman,
No, I don't do nonsense. We're here on business.
Oh, yes, business. I like him. Really stern, isn't he, Lucy May? Oh, he needs to loosen up. I bet you could loosen him up a bit. I really think that is the case. Yes, sit down, everybody. Sit down, he says, and he says, he sort of like holds his ear and says, "Shut up!" Like this down. He says, sit down. Would you like anything? I wouldn't touch this food. It's pretty crap, actually. Would you like something to eat?
If you have something proper.
Yeah, he looks around and he sees a tray on another table. And he just picks it up and brings it on a butter. There you go. I don't know what it is, but they've left it, you know. One man's left food is another man's meal. That's what I like to say. So
time is money.
yeah. Oh, I like that. Mr. Minks. Time is money. Do you mind if I use that in the future? I really like that. It makes me sound quite professional.
One credit per use.
Yeah. Time is money. Maybe a bit deeper. Time is money.
Right.
Yeah, I've got that. Lucy May, write that down. Time is money. Got it, yeah. Okay, gentlemen, and female robotic artificial sex machine. I'd just like to say thank you for taking me, accepting the job. This is going to be easy for men of your caliber, I tell you. Yeah, so you might have heard of me already. Have you heard of me on the newsreels at all?
Not a thing.
Oh.
Sadly, no. We looked for you before the meet, but we couldn't find any information about you.
Nothing at all. He looks quite sternly at
No,
Lucy May.
no.
Lucy May, what have you been doing? I honestly report something, but they found nothing on the mail. Newsreel. You need to get your acting together, young missy. Oh, Monty. And you suddenly feel that she's about to start to cry. Oh, shut up, he says. And sort of like hands her his sleeve to dab her eyes with. So he says, "I'm here on hunting business."
Hmm?
Yeah, so you might not know me, but because I've got a rather stupid bimbo as a reporter, but I'm here on hunting business. If you have seen me across the internet, I'm a world-class, first-class hunter. I go from planet to planet, bagging myself, new trophies. And it is your lucky day because I've come here today, for about a week, to actually add some of Arid's, animal kingdom to my trophy wall. To put it a nice way, this is just a bug hunt.
Right.
Just to let you know, that's the name of the series of adventures. It's a bug
hunt.
It's a goddamn bug hunt.
Yeah!
Hey!
Splashes.
So, pray tell, Monty, what are you actually looking for? What are these bugs?
We're not really known to be exterminators.
Well, no, don't worry. I'm the master. I'm a world-class hunter. I'll deal with the hunter. You don't need to exterminate anything. Unless it's a bit of your passion with Lucy May around. You know what I mean, old man? Yeah, I bet you could if you would. I bet you wish you could, don't you?
I should give Lucy May a little wink.
But you got 2 drones?
He says, yeah, so all I need you to do, well, is probably just come with me and, you know, pretend to be some on-world, on-planet security force.
Right.
You know, stand around, look important. If Lucy May
So-
tries to capture you on film, you know, try to look a little bit buff if you can.
So again, Monty, or Mort, sorry, what
No,
what animals?
call me Mort. Let's be friends
Let's
about
be
this.
friends, exactly. Yeah. What
Yeah.
animals are you looking for on
Well, yeah,
on this world?
there's actually 3 that I am looking for to add to my collection, and all these are actually indigenous to Arid itself. Hence why I'm here. There would be no other reason to come to this godforsaken time. It'd take me so much. It'd take me days to get the sand out of all the crevices. I tell you. I don't know how you live here all the time. It's just most off-putting. Bit like sandpaper it is.
Sorry, just one second, Monty. Can we sub-vocalize? Or do we have to talk to each other? Did we?
It's up to you. I'm happy for both.
No, if I sort of, no, didn't we have some sort of comms that we could like
You do have comms. You can have some
without
vocal.
talking though, so he
Or-
could hear?
You can probably have something that you can, sub-vocalize it. Or I think if you're sub-vocalizing, then the perception roll will
Yeah.
just be harder, you know.
Yeah. Don't worry. In that
But
case.
I'm quite happy for you to make snide comments about Monty.
No, it wasn't. I was wanting. I was wanting Hammond to make checks, or Newman to make checks on the animals that it's going to say to find out how endangered they are.
Yeah.
In a
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, so he sort of like said, so what I'm hoping for is 3 animals. The first one would be what's known as a dunker.
Dunker.
A dunker,
I've-
yeah, you
I've not
know.
heard of a donkey before.
I've never
Well, it's
seen a
indigenous.
dunker before.
It's indigenous to this planet. Have you never heard of a dunker?
No, dunker's not really something we've ever discussed.
Well, basically, a dunker is like a reptilian ostrich,
All right, and
a bit like a velociraptor, if you know it, but bigger.
so you want it for its skin?
No, he says, I don't butcher them. I just shoot their heads off and then take a picture of it and then head back.
That's it.
Yeah. He
Right,
says,
alright.
I don't want to get dirty. These are new combat fatigues I've got. Anyway, dunkers are sort of like, well, to put it in a nice way, they're sort of like reptilian ostriches that herd together. They're quite, they're herbivores. They like to flock together, and they're called dunkers because of 2 reasons. Number one, their head dunks as they walk and run like this, and the other thing is they're often sticking their head in sand to find, you know, food.
Mort, it seemed like a very easy movement you did there for you.
Yeah, thanks. I love it. He says, my movement is often praised. Isn't it, Lucy May? Oh, Mort, don't. You get me all hot and bothered. Yeah. She's worth it if you want any of it happened, you know. I'm not afraid to share.
Right. What's the number 2 species we're supposed to be looking for?
Yeah, well, the second thing is a ragwort.
A ragwort?
Pardon me. What is the?
Yeah, you know.
Oh, you just making things up.
No, he says, are you not on this planet? He says,
Mostly spending time.
a
in Scotland.
ragwort is almost like, well, a hairy yak.
Really?
Oh,
It's like an indigenous.
Oh, Yak's
herbivore.
hairy.
Yeah,
Oh, Yak's not hairy.
It's like a hairy yak about the size of a 2-story house.
Right. So we find a giant cow and we kill it. What's
Yeah.
next? What's the third one?
Final one, which is probably the most difficult one. I would like to kill a spiked headworm.
Inwolves, is that the thing that we fought in the first adventure here that came from underground?
You weren't on this planet then. You
Oh,
on
that's
a
right.
you're on a different
Right.
planet, but he goes on to say, you know, spiked head worm burrows underground, comes up for air now and again. Just as it comes out, I just want to go bang, and it's dead. You know, take a picture.
Right.
I'm on my way.
That's it. Just 3 animals that you haven't killed before,
Yeah,
and then
this is why else would I be here? I mean, it's not the most, well, pleasant place to be, if you know what I mean. Now, just to let you know, do not worry. I come well prepared. And he reaches down under the table and brings out this, what appears to be quite a hefty pump action shotgun. And he sort of like says, look, I've got this. And he sort of like, he says, it's pump action. And he holds it up and goes, I think it's stuck. He hands it to you, Newman, and says, is that loaded?
best not be.
Newman's not going to take it. He's just going to say, yeah, in this environment, you got to maintain your weapons a lot more, otherwise they'll seize up.
I know what you mean. All this sand and my weapon, I tell you.
And it's the sand, too.
Yeah, sand everywhere.
Of course, it gets everywhere.
It is like bloody sandpaper, I tell you. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Well, if we can head out tomorrow and, yeah, just stand around, try to look professional. If, you might be asked for an interview with Lucy May. Oh, yes, she says, I'll definitely ask you. I will be asking you questions about Mort, how good you think he is, how fantastic. Yes, I'm very good at editing, so, yes, if we can keep it clean, that would be fine. Oh, yes, she such a sweet girl.
Do you have a map of the locations where you wish to go?
No.
Well, how do you know where to find these things?
Because my starship will be doing orbital scans of the area. They will locate it for you. We'll head over there.
Just a need to know move at a certain time.
To set off.
Yes, we need to set off at a certain time speed
I think
intercept the creatures.
I think it's normally at the crack of dawn. I think that's where most hunters set off. Oh, you do have your own transport, don't you?
Oh, yes, we do.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, well, something like that.
Right.
No, sorry, Kat. I just want to remind you to maybe ask exactly how much money you would plan to be making here.
Yes, that was my next one.
Wealth levels.
Thank you.
Where's our wealth level on this one?
Yes.
Well, yeah, he says, oh, I see. We're down to the negotiation. Lucy May, write this down. You might want to take a picture as we, discuss the amount of money.
I don't like to call it negotiation. I like to call it you paying the right amount for our skills.
Oh, but most definitely. Right amount. Always the right amount for your capabilities. How much do you say then?
Well, you called it.
Well, let's start the bartering here. So, do you have negotiation or is it influence that you're using?
I've got influence or I don't think that's it. No,
is negotiation a professional skill?
It is, yes, yeah.
It is. Oh, okay. Wow.
I think that's commerce generally.
I've got commerce.
Yeah, I have commerce. I don't have negotiation.
Influence is better though.
Either influence or endurance. One.
Oh, endurance. Or brawn.
Yeah. So roll your
my influence.
Yeah. This will be opposed by his. Yes. You get the feeling, Minsk, that he's playing you. And whatever you ask for, you almost get above the normal amount. So to give you an indication, you probably started 50% higher or something like that, or even 100% higher, and you actually get the value of it plus 50% extra from your negotiation.
So 250% essentially.
Yeah, to him, money does not seem to be an issue.
No.
And he says things like, "Oh, you got me there. That's a really good one. I'll let you have that one. I'll let you have that one." You know, and you suddenly think, what? If anything, you were a bit let
like a
down.
scholarship and 1,000 credits.
Yeah, you thought it was a bit of a, you know, because you quite like that negotiation and everything.
It is. It's the whole start of the process. You go in high, they knock you down a bit. You go up a bit. You know.
Yeah, and you sort of
But
like,
he's going. I'm going in high, and he's going
higher. Yeah.
I really do hate this guy.
And he sort of like says, "Well, you got me there, hard negotiating skills, Minsk." Bah, like this. Yeah, he says, "So, shall we tomorrow?" Tomorrow.
Yes.
What time? You will be prepared to sort of like head out. Do you think these combat gear will be suitable? He says to you, Newman.
Newman will just shake his head.
No, I bought these. What should I wear then?
Something
I know.
like the people outside wear.
I know. It's the colour, isn't it? Stupid me buying green and black. It needs to be almost like sand colour, doesn't it?
Sure. It's the color that was the problem.
Yeah. Lucy May, write down. We need to change the colours of these once we get back to their starship. And he seems to be slightly distracted a bit. He says, "Just bring them round the front and park them." He says, "Right," and he sort of like pushes his chair. He says, "Let me walk you to the entrance. It's been so nice meeting you all, and you know, you look like a really good crew of people that are going to be helping me today. Any questions before we leave?" Good. That sounds like. Oh, sorry.
How long do you expect this to take?
Oh, week tops.
Okay, that's good. Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you, Mort. And I'll emphasize a T at the end.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Mr. Minsk.
As Lucy May goes past, I'll say, "And you, Lucy?" And I'll lean forward, I'll take her hand, and I'll kiss her hand gently. I'll say, "It's always a pleasure to meet you. And you don't need combat fatigues. You look beautiful with nothing at all."
Oh, Mr. Minks, you're such a flatterer. Oh, did you hear that, Mort? I bet he'll bring me flowers tomorrow, don't you? Such a nice guy. Such a nice...
Like a rose.
And you sort of like... the crowd's dissipated a little bit from outside, and as you arrive at the door, he sort of like says, 8 a.m., be there. And he's sort of like... and sort of like salutes you, Newman, and sort of goes, "Oh, yeah," like this, as if he's somewhat in with you. And you turn to go walk around, and Lucy May says, "Oh, just a minute." And she comes up to you, and she grabs your hand and shakes it, Minsk. And as you take your hand away, you notice that she's pushed something into your hand. It's not a poison needle or anything. It's good. It's her contact number.
Oh, there's a contact number. Okay.
And it says,
it's not very used underwear or something.
It's just a contact. And she says, "Don't worry," she says, "we have an open relationship, if you know what I mean."
Oh, I do, Lucy. Now, you be a good girl.
You can call me Lucy or Lou. remember, Lucy may do things you never know. And you
As
may...
we walk out, I'll probably whisper to the captain. Captain, I think either our new friend has no idea how to negotiate properly, or he has no intention to pay a dead man.
And at that point, two things happen. Minsk, you hear a ping as you notice the full amount of what you've asked for has actually been transferred into your account. And there's a message. It says, "With a little extra." So just to give you an indication, it's probably will increase your wealth by about 10%, which is quite a hefty...
It's a big jump. But where's our wealth now? Like 1?
Yep. Slightly higher than 1 because you do have goods. And you sort of like walk out to the edge of the starport, and as you look out, and I seriously have to say that this has not changed. As you walk out, in front of the starport are 3 medium all-terrain vehicles, blacked out sliding doors, and with heavy blasters mounted on the roof. And next to each one of them appears one of Mort's security team. So much so that if anybody sort of like gets so close, he goes, "Please stand away. Please stand back. Please stand back. I do not have to use excessive force. Don't worry. Remember, you are coming in your little hover vehicle."
Our little Betsy's lovely.
And that is 10 o'clock exactly.
Oh my
which would
God.
be a nice time to leave it. Just before we go, is there anything that you would like to do before meeting Mort tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Almost said Bartleby there. That took a moment to fix. Newman would want to text his contacts, specifically Carly, asking, have you heard anything about this poser who wannabe military guy who is Monty Percy Marmaduke Smythe?
Got ya.
Marmaduke Smythe.
I don't think any of our party is really on social media, any of their characters. So sort of thing, I think we would have missed that. And so he'd be asking.
Who did you want to check with, sorry?
Carly was the first one.
Yeah.
Because I know she's more available. And I'd probably send a text to Angel Bright, like asking how her vacation's going. And if I get a positive response from that, then it would be, "Hey, have you heard anything about
What if you get no response? What if she ghosts you?
Well, that's...
Do you know, I found out that's when you stop answering somebody's calls, isn't it? Yeah.
To answer it.
Just saying.
So, yeah. So, anybody else want to do anything before tomorrow morning?
Hammond, could you check out, once you got your drones up and running, maybe you could check out what these animals are and if they're rare or endangered?
Okay, so
yeah, absolutely.
So researching the animals, yeah.
Should I roll research really quick?
Yeah. So if you roll your research and Newman, if you can roll, do you have passions for your?
I have passions for both of them.
Yeah, if you can roll your passions for each one of them.
What's your passion?
Well, my cat's in front of the screen right now, so it's a little hard to see. There we go.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Oh no,
Carly, my ex-military pink-haired friend, and Angel Bright, rich journalist.
Okay, so you hear nothing back unless you want to look something.
I would love to use my points of luck. The first one if I can reverse, and the second if I can reroll.
Yeah, go for it.
Reroll.
Bummer.
I'm getting ghosted.
Yeah, Angel Bright is definitely
He's moved on.
ghosting you.
Would you say the luck roll was a second text?
Yeah.
Well, you answering back.
Do you still like me?
Yeah. It's like text her. She didn't
Sad
reply
face emoji.
straight away. And then you said,
I might have got the wrong number.
yeah, you text her, so there was no reply. You said, this is it. This is it. I'm finished with you. And then 5 minutes later, oh, sorry, only joking. Still like you, etc., etc. So we'll start off the next session because it's gone 10 o'clock. We'll hear what Carly knows about Monty or Mort. And Hammond, you will get the information about the research about the animals. Minsk, is there anything you would like to do?
Yeah, I'd just like to start texting Lucy. Hello, Lucy. Just random text,
Just roll your influence skill. Let's see how charming you are.
Let's see how we can do. Hey,
Oh.
how you doing?
Yeah.
You actually text her and you get a reply instantly. So you
I see full on block.
you text Lucy as Newman text Angel, and your communicator goes beep 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 straight away, and Newman's is just sort of like nothing.
I go to the other side of the sea container because that bugs me.
What, sorry?
I go to the other side of the sea container so that I don't have to deal.
Brilliant. So just to, I am taking for granted next week that you have put rations and camping gear and anything like that for probably a 2 weeks journey. So you've got plenty of water. You're both really...
Water is the most important thing.
Yeah, you all know what Arid's like.
Yeah.
So that's fine. So we'll pick it up next week at the beginning when you meet Mort at the front of the starport, ready to go out on a bug hunt. Okay, well done. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, everybody who came and viewed it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed it here. It's always nice to have people making comments. Just for we did have comments like, I like Monty. Newman's not impressed. That's a bit too far. Hammond is trying to keep his composure. Minsk, what a smoothie. And then the final one.
Smoothie.
The final one that I really like says, there's something fishy going on here.
Don't have a good feeling about this.
Yeah. No, it's just a bug hunt.
Goddamn bug hunt.
So thank you so much for coming along and chatting with us, watching the stream. If you would like to see some D&D 5th edition, then Medivac?
Thursday nights, but not next Thursday because we're on a break next Thursday, but the following Thursday, every Thursday normally from 7:15 onwards. It's a journey of joy.
And what's your are you in the chat? Is it Medivac the Healing Hoover?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's the longest possible name that you can have on Twitch.
Yeah.
But
not long enough for. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, so not next Saturday, but next Thursday.
Next Thursday, the Thursday after. Yeah.
What time? Sorry.
7:15.
7:50.
I know. We all group up at 7. Then it takes me 15 minutes to sort the cameras out.
I will be back tomorrow morning struggling through with my Bard on Lost Ark. And then in the afternoon, remember, it's Spin the Wheel for ESO. So do come along and watch that happen. I've made a wheel and everything. Darth Test, thanks for the adventure all. Not a problem at all.
Welcome, Darth.
Okay, so until next time, it's goodbye from me, goodbye, and it's goodbye from them.
Goodbye.
I'm just going.